Welcome. This is Orientation with SoulRapha. Part of this is getting to hear the journey of SoulRaphians. We love to share how our team members got excited about doing this, what their starting point, their entry point was, and where they're at now with it. And maybe you'll resonate with a little bit. So today I am here with my really good friend, Tara, who's been an incredible team member.
Thank you.
Such an asset, one of our top SoulRaphians. So Tara, would you share your journey to becoming a SoulRaphian?
My journey to SoulRapha started out with a life group, and we had to do a serve opportunity. And our serve opportunity ended up being in a senior care facility. And this was my first time actually doing this with this group. So we went to a senior care facility, and my first thought was I'm just going to stand in the background and kind of check out the scenario and scenery and see what was going on. But while you're there, you really have to be engaged. So I ended up meeting a couple people, a couple residents, and spent some time with them. And one of the residents, before we were going to go do some room to room, she, grabbed my arm and she was like, "You're coming back, right? Next week, right?" And I was like, "No." I didn't say that. I was just thinking that. No.
We would never say that
Never.
to anybody, but sometimes we think it.
We think it, because I was just there checking off a box. That was my, this was something we had to do for this life group, and that was what I was going to do.
So you weren't really passionate about seniors when
I was
you first
not
started.
passionate about, as a matter of fact, if I could have came up with an excuse, which I couldn't, obviously I went, but I probably would have just not gone. But I did go.
And I want to encourage the listeners right now, if you're at a space right now where you're just checking off a box, just take the time, continue on the path, because you're going to hear what happened. The transformation.
It was, definitely a transformation. So the resident there, she grabbed my arm and said, "You're coming back?" And I'm like, thinking no. And then we went and did some room to rooms, which was good. We got to meet people who were not able to actually get up and be mobile. And so we talked to them. And then another resident there grabbed my arm, the exact same thing, and said, "So you're coming back next week, right?" And I was like, "I don't think so." But next week came and I went back, or the next time, not next week. The next time, next month came, and I just felt like, I should go back and just see, how some of these residents were doing. So we went back.
Were they desperate for a visit?
They were very desperate for a visit. They were very happy to see us come back. And so I kind of made a commitment to just continue to go when we would go, because it didn't take that much time out of my day. And I'm thinking, you know what? We all know somebody who has either been in a home, going to be in a home. We may eventually be in a home, and you want somebody to come. You want somebody to care, to at least say hi or to say, you matter. And
I love that. You see that? She's wearing it. You matter.
You matter.
Even if you're listening right now, we want you to know you matter.
You matter.
Your life matters. Your service matters. Your time matters. Your investment matters. Where you put your efforts, it matters.
It matters. And it transformed me into just being more thoughtful in thinking about, what's really important in life is relationships. And the residents in that home, they don't really get to have that type of relationship anymore, because they're either in their rooms, that's their world. It can be a little bit sad, but it's really not, because when they see you, they're so excited. And it's fun.
So now that we're doing everything, obviously we had a big change in our world from the time that you started on your journey to a SoulRaphian.
Yeah.
And how do you serve as a SoulRaphian today?
Today I serve by coming into the studio and sharing my talents, which happens to be writing, playwriting, and performing. And so I've been able to do that in the studio. God's blessed me and, been gracious to me in that area. But whatever your talent is, I just want to encourage you. Whatever it is, it can be used. It can be used in the studio. There's a way to figure out how to do it. Even if you don't have studio talent, you can write letters, draw pictures that can be sent in to them.
So
you can
did you
record.
ever think that you would be on this side of the camera? Because
No.
I'm going to give you a little secret. She actually used to be on the other side of the camera. Did you hear her say that? She was a playwright. She did other things. She would direct other people. But now she's gotten really out of her comfort zone and decided these people matter. They matter enough to give what I have, even if it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And so we've gotten to record episodes like A Moment with Eunice.
Moment with
We just did
Eunice.
some spoken word. There are all kinds of things that you can do. We record dancers. We record actors. We are willing to work with you. If you're a singer, we have musicians. We would love to do anything that you have that can be creative and brought to these residents. And you know what? Have you seen how they respond when they see the video?
They are so excited and so happy. They just can't even believe that we're taking the time to send in material like this, and just for them to be able to sit there and see it, and just their comments when you can just hear it. It's like, oh, it's great. Some of them are tearful. Some of them, they're just like, oh, I remember that person, or I remember this person. So it's really impacting their world, which is to them so small, but it's impacting our world too, right? Because
Yeah.
it just makes you feel good.
It makes you feel great. So we want to encourage you today on your journey to becoming a SoulRaphian, that not only does it transform their lives, it actually transforms your life. We
Yeah.
did that in tandem. I like it.
It
So-
transforms your life.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
if you know a senior or plan on being a senior sometime,
Yes.
SoulRapha is the place to be. Be a
Exactly.
SoulRaphian. Thank you for taking time on this journey with us today.
Yes.
Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome. Thank you. SoulRapha.